How about that .biz? Is that like a little pit bull going on there, you know? I love that. I got to tell you, I want to share one thing after just hearing Matt, Colin, and just the programming team. There's one specific thing. I tend to see things sometimes that other people don't see right away, and there's one thing about everything that I've heard over the past couple of days that gets me really excited. And it has to do with the viral nature of apps, but it has to do with one announcement that was made, and it kind of was brushed over. It was like we applauded for it, but it didn't seem like that big of a deal. But I see it as a huge deal. You know, there's no comp plan attached to Uber. That whole thing has grown. I mean, the drivers have a comp plan, but the people sharing the app, there's no comp plan. It's just people like it. I mean, if you think about why people choose Uber, it's because it's more convenient and it's less expensive. And what we do is we have an app that gives people a way to do something that they want to do that's less expensive and more convenient. And the reason people share it is because they like it. And I know that there's thousands and thousands of our customers that love SendOutCards that tell other people about it, but they really don't have a way to share it. So when that was announced, the first thing I thought is, now our customers have a way to share it with people. And that could be that the viral, I don't even know if it's a virality. Is that a yeah, whatever the viral nature of it. The ability for a customer to share it, and it's attached to you. It's attached to us. So that was the one. I mean, I'm so excited about all this stuff, but that was the one thing that just really struck me. It's like, wow, this could be, not this could be, this is big. It's almost like, you know, when I went from I was addicted to my BlackBerry. I used to have a BlackBerry, and when I went from we're gonna applaud the BlackBerry, really? When I had my BlackBerry and I went to my first smartphone, and when apps were first coming out, I can remember it was like such a monumental, it was like a whole new world opened up when I went from my BlackBerry to my smartphone. And that's kind of how I feel this weekend. Going from what we had prior to this weekend and what was launched this weekend. Do you guys agree? It's like a whole new company. And there's so many people. I'm not going to start down that path, but there's so many people to thank for that. The teamwork in the company that put all this together. And I'm going to tell you guys something. I did not know any of the announcements coming into convention. I walked into convention. I'm sitting out here. In fact, Cody, I even asked Cody after I learned about the sharing. I asked him backstage. I said, "Is that it?" I didn't mean that. Is that it? Like that's all. I was excited about that. But he said, he looks up. He goes, "Yeah, it's pretty much it." And then I come here with you, and I'm hearing it when you're hearing it. And I'm like speechless. I can't wait to get out there and start sharing this with people. You know? So, you know, when I really, as we entered into this convention, I started thinking about, you know, really who we are as a company that's about creating defining moments for people. That's really what we do as individuals and in this company. And it's not about a greeting card company. It's not about even a gift sending company. It's about creating defining moments. It's about changing people's lives through positive actions and kindness and appreciation. And it made me think about a story. There's this guy named Rob Steiner. I didn't know him, but I was asked to speak at a networking event for BNI with 1,000 people in Scottsdale, Arizona, not that long ago. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but they're making computers now with no CD drives, and they're making cars now with no CD players in them. CDs are going away. In the next 2 years, we won't be using CDs at all. And I've got 6,000 copies of my Beach Money audiobook. And so periodically, I'm still selling them. I'm still going to do that, you know, but periodically, when I'm asked to speak at an event, I'll give a Beach Money audiobook to everybody in the group. And so I went to speak at this audience, and they're all leaders in BNI across Arizona, and I gave every one of them a copy of the Beach Money audiobook, and I did my talk about networking. It was a talk on networking. It had nothing to do with network marketing. And we gave him all the book, and then about a month and a half goes by, and I get a call from a guy named Rob that said he wanted to meet with me. And I'm going to share with you the backstory. I'm really about creating defining moments. I'm about looking for ways, and there's specific things that you can do, looking for ways that you can create defining moments in other people's lives. And I put that out there. Well, Rob calls me and wants to get together. Rob Steiner is his name, and his mom and dad owned a plumbing company, and they had not taken a vacation in 25 years. And Rob finally decided that he wanted to send him on a vacation. And they were going to the Bahamas. And their plane that was going from Florida to the Bahamas crashed, and they were killed. And Rob went into severe depression, and he took over the plumbing company. He really didn't want to run the plumbing company, but he took it over. And he couldn't sleep at night for months. When I gave everybody in the crowd that Beach Money audiobook, he put it on the seat of his truck, the truck that he uses to run the plumbing jobs. He put it on the seat of his truck, and he drove around with it for a whole month. And after a month, he figured he was never going to use it for anything, so he brought it in the house and he threw it in the trash in the kitchen. And then that day, he emptied the trash into the dumpster, into the alleyway, and he went to bed that night. Couldn't sleep. 3 o'clock in the morning, he wakes up, he gets a flashlight, he goes out into the alley. He starts digging through the dumpster to find the Beach Money audiobook. He pulls it out, rips it open, and listens to it that night in his truck. He calls me the next day. Says, Jordan, I want to do SendOutCards. So Rob's a manager. He's working the business. He's not here right now, but I'm happy for him. You know, life's not perfect for him right now. He's struggling, but he's a good guy, and he loves SendOutCards, and he's building it, and I'm really excited about that. But it's about creating defining moments, and that's what we do. You know, there's things that you can do to create defining moments. We'll talk about that. But I want to share a story. So I was just in Bora Bora. Some of you know that. My first time to Bora Bora. And there's a guy that's an orthopedic surgeon. It was all network marketers. There were 11 of us. It wasn't a business trip. It was just pleasure. But there was a couple there, and they're the only ones that were not network marketers. And they don't even, in their world of orthopedic surgeons and doctors and all that, they don't even know what network marketing is. They really don't. They did not have a clue what it was. And nobody was trying to recruit him. We were just hanging out. He's got a private jet. He's building a 15,000 square foot home on the mountain in Las Vegas. And he flew myself and a couple of friends from Las Vegas to Los Angeles to catch the Air Tahiti flight, on his private jet. And we just had a really fun time. And then I was with him for over a week and really got to know him. He's done 19,000 surgeries himself. And he's been practicing for 25 years. He speaks at colleges and universities. He works with charities and things like that. He does a lot of research, and he does perform surgery. We are laying on rafts in the bay with this water that is blue as that screen right there, just on a perfect day, right out where all those little villas are, where you see that are out on stilts, and we're just all laying, relaxing in the sun. And we had been talking about what we talk about as network marketers, and he was just listening the whole time. And as we're laying out there, he says, Jordan, and then I was with a woman from another network marketing company, Haley. You know what I have to tell you? He says, we've been out here 3 days, and I've been stressing out. And the reason I'm stressing out is because while I'm out here, I'm not performing surgery, and because I'm not performing surgery, I'm not making any money. And I listen to you, and I know you guys are making money while you're out here in Bora Bora, and I get your business. And that's cool. So I have a question for you. If I were to give you, if I were your employer, you, everybody here in this room, I'm going to share with you why most people don't make money in network marketing. It's going to be very simple. If I were your employer and I said, I'm going to pay you $50,000 a year, about $1,000 a week, that's $4,000 a month, which is about $50,000 a year. I'm going to pay you $50,000 a year. What would I, as your employer, expect from you to do every day if your job was to show the business? In other words, how many presentations a day would you need to do every day if I was paying you $50,000 a year, if that was your job? So I'm going to ask you to just yell it out. How many presentations a day if you were getting paid $50,000 a year and I was an employer and that was your job? How many? Some more, but would you agree that 3 would be low? Yeah, so maybe 10 a day, right? Maybe 5 a day if that was your job and I was paying you $50,000 a year. Now, what if I paid you $1,000 a month? Would you believe that I would expect you to do at least one presentation a day for $1,000 a month? Some of you in this room want to make $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month or even more. And you would believe that if I was going to pay you $1,000 a month as your employer, that you would be doing at least one presentation a day, right? Stand up in this room, be honest, if you are now doing 30 presentations a month. Stand up. Stand up. You don't applaud. Please don't applaud. So this is the reason. Look around. It's right in your face. This is the reason why most people aren't making money. Because you're not doing the work. It's simple. If I were your boss, you'd be doing 1 to 5 presentations a day. You can count on almost one hand the number of people in the room, 2 hands, that are doing 1 presentation a day. I'm not here to beat you up. Okay, give these guys a hand, the ones that are. I'm not here to beat you up, but I'm just here to get you to see. It's not that hard. You've got one simple task, and that's to share this with people. It's really simple. And we teach you. We give you everything that you need every week to build a business. It's so simple. So I want to say this. It's all about your audience in every business. So Ray Kroc, the reason he sells to this day, even though he's long gone, the reason he sells more burgers than any company in the world, even with a substandard burger, is because he has more outlets. He built more outlets. He's got a bigger audience. As Steve said during the Promptings Academy, one outlet isn't going to do it. You can't become big with one outlet. Surgeon Mike Crivetti, the guy that I was just telling you about, he's done 19,000 surgeries. He's got an audience. He gets lots of referrals. Besides being a good surgeon, if you're a great surgeon and you don't have an audience, you don't have anybody to perform surgery on. So he does speaking engagements. He networks. He goes to the same 3 nice restaurants over and over and over again and gets to know the people that run the restaurant and gets to know the clientele, and everybody loves him, and he buys people dinner and he networks with people and he has fun. That's Surgeon Mike. He's been doing that for 25 years. And people love him, and he's had some clients, and they told some people who told some people who told some people. Sounds like network marketing. But he's got an audience. It's all about the audience. Gary Vaynerchuk, he makes videos and puts them on social media. And people watch his videos and they share his videos. And when he launches a book or when he has a training, thousands of people show up. Why? Because he has an audience. See, people that write a book, if you write a book and it's a really good book, but nobody cares about you, you're not going to sell very many books. How many people out there have written books that wrote really good books and they sell 6 of them? Nobody else wants to buy their book because nobody knows who they are. So when Beach Money launched, I had already built an audience, and the audience is a bunch of network marketers. And how did I do that? Coffee plantation, Starbucks, conference calls, 3-way calls, duplication, sharing the opportunity over and over again, getting thousands of no's over and over and over and over again. And I built this network. So now I've had success. in network marketing because over the course of many years, I built a network of people. Then when my book came out, people wanted to read it. So I had an audience. Are you with me? So when Cody's not going to put a book into the gifting program unless there's an audience, because the book's not going to sell. But he knew there was an audience, so he said, yes, let's put the book in there. So then the book's in there, and now we've got network marketers sending the book, so the book sells because there's an audience. Well, the way that most of us, see, Jay McHugh has an audience. Jim McCord has an audience. They're realtors. They're people that they've sold houses to. Most of us have an audience. So here, how many of you want to know the quick way to success in network marketing? Show the business to people that have an audience. The guy working at the Circle K, nothing wrong with that person. Or the 7-Eleven, I would show it to him because you don't know who they know. But if you have a choice between showing it to that person or showing it to a person who has sold a whole bunch of books, or somebody who is a pest control person that hates what they're doing and has 1,000 clients, there's an audience there. So it's very simple. Meet people. That's number one, meet people. Number two, fill your contact manager. Fill your contact manager. It's so simple. I see somebody that's been in the business for 6 months. They're excited about the business, and I ask them, how many contacts do you have in your contact manager? And they say 8. That's not an audience. In fact, those of you that have 50 friends on Facebook, your goal should be to have 5,000 friends on Facebook. Delete the ones or block the ones that are scammers or that are trying to sell you something, but accept people's friendship when they request it and connect with those people. Build your audience. That's where the opportunity is in every business. And the audience is built in network marketing by showing the business. The more you put the app on people's phones and the more you walk people through sending cards on the app, the people that do that the most often for themselves and for people in their group are going to have the biggest income and the biggest income and the biggest organizations. So we talked about it. What is Uber? Uber is a bunch of people that have a car and a bunch of people that want to ride. And the people in the car want to make money driving their cars, so Uber put them together, and they make billions and billions of dollars. That's what it is, and it's a bunch of expert, brilliant guys like this that put the app together. And it's more convenient, and it's less expensive. So we have an app that a bunch of brilliant guys put together. And it's less expensive and more convenient. And the way people find out about it is by us telling people about it. We're the ones. This room, this little room, I look around and I can see a stadium of 20,000 people right now. I can see that. You guys fit into one little section of that stadium. You know what? I just want to close with one thing that really make you think about the magnitude of this. Marriott, last Friday, completed the largest merger in hotel history. Not merger, but acquisition in hotel history. $14 billion. They bought Sheraton, they bought Westin, they bought St. Regis, and they bought 7 other major brands and completed a $14 billion acquisition. Last Friday, it was completed. And I was standing with the general manager of the St. Regis in Bora Bora, and I asked him, I said, just curious, Airbnb. You know what he said? Bigger. What he was telling me is that Airbnb is bigger than Marriott. Marriott is 87 years old. It's the biggest acquisition in hotel history. And Airbnb, who's been around for 8 years, who has 0 hotel rooms, is bigger. Now, if you just extrapolate just a little bit and look at what we're doing, $7.5 billion industry, greeting card industry. There's no question that the trend is rapidly that greeting card stores are going away. We own the space. We own the internet space for greeting cards and gifts. The writing is on the wall. And you guys are it. You are sitting in the small section of the big arena. So let's make it happen. Thank you. Love you guys.